reassure Noah. Noah got so scared, thinking that if the dad passed on, he would not continue school. But I remember, Your Excellency, I even mentioned it to you. His was such a good plan. I remember 20 years ago, we created an account for school fees for our children. That was for only university education when they were still in college. So, Noah, be rest assured that you complete your education, go for right if you want, and with the other further studies you'd like to pursue. I wish to thank the country for the support, the love you've shown to us. The week we spent in Milan, our home has been flooded by people from all walks of life. His former colleagues, his friends, most of them, people he met because of his office sense. At OPM and the Ministry of Finance, those he helped, not necessarily colleagues. We thank God for your love and support. In this, we get comfort and encouragement to continue his legacy, to emulate his good deeds, and to always remember him in a special way. We want to thank the church. Head off the pillow. And then Dora spoke to him, said, Keith, Neja, Ndiaha. Then Keith smiled. And he started moving his legs. We asked him whether he had pain. He said yes. Dora asked him which leg was hurting. He said the right one. He raised it because he couldn't mention. And we were full of hope. By the time Dennis came, we knew Keith was getting better. But that was the last smile we saw of Keith. We thank you, Bob and Dora, for that. We cherish that happiness, that expression. It's stuck on my mind. It will always be etched on my mind. I thank friends and relatives who've been there for us. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. Aunt May is not here, but she came home this morning and prayed with us. I thank you so, so, so much, Mr. Ben Kavuyi and Barbara, for taking up the responsibility of organizing the home, coordinating all this. We thank you so much. I'd like to thank you, the Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, our relatives and friends of Muhakanizi, but I have a way I joke with Mr. Charles Muhakanizi. I normally call him, may I mention it, please? Let me read it. I wish to thank you, Charles. I wish to thank you, Ebo. Ebo saw us through part of the face of sickness in Turkey. Your engagement with Keith in your discussions and debates about the economy, about politics, brought some happiness to Keith. He had company. They would talk about their relatives, their early childhood, all sorts of things, and that made life easier for Keith. Thank you so much. I wish to thank Dennis in a special way. Dennis, when I called you and asked you to come to help, You didn't hesitate. I thank you for that. Thank you so, so much. And your coming created a lot of difference. And my children knew that they had a parent in you who responded to their mother's call. Thank you so much. I wish to thank the Kazenji family for standing with us. It's not this time that we have gone through tough times, even in Turkey. As Nehu mentioned, Julius was there for Nehu and Dennis. We thank you so much. In a special way, His Excellency, Your Excellency, I would like to thank Professor Vazeo. Professor Vazeo is a special human being. Once he is committed to a relationship, he gives it his all. His all. He has been so, so helpful since we started this journey of cancer treatment in Turkey till now. We thank you so, so much. Your Excellency, I would like to thank one of our friends, Madame Enrica Pinet. She helped us while in Italy. While in hospital, the time we spent in that room which has special air where you are not supposed to step out, she tasked her personal assistant to send us supplies until I got out when Keith had moved to the ICU. This was over a month. We thank Madame Enrica so, so, so much. I wish to thank the funeral service providers. I wish to thank all the service providers like Amagara at home in Bugolobi who have been there for a whole week. I wish to thank my in-law, Mr. James Kahoza and Aunt Grace, my in-law, Uncle Nathan, my uncle, Uncle Ben. Thank you for coming and talking to them, and Professor Vazeo. I think that did a lot to stabilize them. I thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'd like to end by thanking God, church. May I use this celebration of Keith's life for a thanksgiving, for a well-lived life, for standing with us through this, and for giving us such a rich life as a couple. Keith and I had a special relationship. We understood each other. When we had just got married, I was annoyed because I used to tell him, I'm married to your job. You didn't marry me. But later I understood that I had to take up what he liked to be married properly to him. And that was a life lesson, which helped me to go through all this for the 30 plus years I've spent with Keith. I thank God for giving me the energy to nurse Keith. It was not easy because Keith also, as you have already mentioned, he's stubborn sometimes. He can decide that he doesn't feel pain when he has it, yet he needs medicine for it. He may overwork the body because he wants to exercise. He loved being fit, but he would overwork himself and even get problems out of that. So we would always argue sometimes, but I thank God that we would agree after. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to stop here. Thank you for listening to me.
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, all delegates, honorable ministers, family, friends, and everyone who has come. I want to thank you so, so much from the bottom of our hearts. Today, we're here to celebrate a great man. My father was indeed a great, great man. And in this greatness, I want to thank other great men who took up the role when my father was sick. I don't want to take too much time because tomorrow at the burial, that speech will be personal. So today I want to just mention a few names. Uncle Bob Kabonero, Uncle Ben Kavuya, Uncle Jim, Uncle Enos Timsime, but my uncles, Uncle Dennis, I want to thank you so, so much. Uncle Julius, I want to thank you so, so much for playing such a strong role in our family in that period, especially in the period around about 2 years ago when things got tough, really, really tough. Your Excellency, there was a time in Turkey, things were very bad. And naturally, as a human being, things start to get a bit tricky. You start thinking about that dark moment. Huh? But having that team of greatness around helps you pull through, because you just don't look at the character of the man, but you look at those who are around you and you build confidence from them. It's not just great men I want to thank. I want to thank one of the greatest, if not the greatest woman I know in my life, and that is my mother. You see, my mother is so special, not just because of the wife she is, but my mother still played every single duty of a mother as she was nursing my father. We didn't have to go to aunties. Of course, the aunties were there. Of course, the friends were there. But my mother always picked the phone, even when my dad was going through the tough times. She called, checked on us every single day. And she ended every sentence by saying, Pepe, I am here for you. Like I said at the vigil, the small vigil that we're having in Bugolobi at home, I'm going to say it again here. As much as you console us as children, as family, for the loss of my father, Your Excellency, I also want to console you for the loss of a friend, a comrade. And I know the loss is deep and hurtful for you too. So I'm sorry for your loss, Your Excellency. I'm sorry to the friends. I'm sorry to the workmates, and I'm sorry to the nation. I am completely devastated by this loss. But I'm not broken. Because to be broken would be doing my father a disservice. We're going to move on. We're going to be stronger. And we're going to protect this legacy that my father has created. May God rest his soul. Thank you so much.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, all other government officials and dignitaries, and all protocol observed. Unfortunately, I cannot get through this without reading from start to finish. This is the most difficult text I have ever written, so please forgive me if it sounds fragmented. My dad hated long speeches, so I'll keep this short. He valued time and was an impeccable timekeeper. 8 a.m. was 7:45 a.m. to him. When he dropped Nahum and I at school in the mornings, and one of us was late, usually me, because I'm not a morning person, he would ask the driver to park the car on the roadside and have us walk to the school gate. It did not matter whether it was raining. One of the things I loved most about him was how he wasn't bound to societal norms. I'm sure most of you know he supported Liverpool Football Club. From tennis to wrestling, this man watched almost every sport under the sun. If guests came over while his beloved football club or Norman Djokovic played, he'd excuse himself to watch the game for a bit. He was known to leave weddings or parties early to watch his sports. Whenever I sprayed Jordan Henderson with insults, he never reprimanded me. Instead, he would join me, much to my mother's annoyance. He always gave me space to express my emotions around my team in whatever way I felt. After last-minute winners, we'd run across the room together and blow kisses to our football heroes. I can't fathom watching Liverpool games without him. My dad was an incredibly positive human being. He always believed things would work out and that there was a solution for every problem. I remember in 2020 when Liverpool was in the title race and I was filled with doubt because of losing the league in 2014. He told me that I wouldn't enter the kingdom of God because I didn't believe the title was ours. I'm sure he'd still tell me we will make top 4 this season. Although we agreed that Liverpool was the best football club, we had major ideological differences about many other subjects. Nonetheless, he made room for my opposing views. He was stubborn and very direct. Sometimes his directness stung, but he had a way of using very few words to say a lot. Concision was his way of life. Those who know me well know that my routine is vital to me. I've always been asked how I develop discipline. It all came from my father. A couple of years ago, I learned from one of his friends, Uncle John Kahuzia, that while they were in Intare, his nickname was Constance because he always showed up early for morning prep, despite the weather or amount of sleep he'd had. I always knew that Dad impacted many people, but I only understood the magnitude last Thursday. I ask that you do not apologize for being emotional in front of us. He was yours too. Thank you everyone for your support, especially in these final days. For some of the friends and family especially who came to be with us, Auntie Joan and her family. We're really, really grateful. And there's so many of you, I can't name all of you. There are no superlatives that can describe my gratitude to you. I hope I show up for you as much as you've done for me. Nahum and Neo, I know how much all this took a toll on both of you. Thank you for looking after me throughout it all. Please forgive me for the times I've fallen short. To my mother, who quite literally put her life on hold to look after my father, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please don't worry about us. It's time to focus on you. Dad, thank you. I love you. You'll never walk alone.
Your Excellency, I just wanted to add one more thing. I cannot express how grateful we are to certain people as well that I had not mentioned earlier. Professor William Bazeyo, we are so grateful for everything you've done for us. You essentially took up the role, not only my father's doctor here in Uganda, but even as my father, playing that role of a father. My father had a special friend who is completely and equally devastated by this loss. I had the opportunity to only know how special that friendship was and very deep. And that is an aunt of mine, Aunt Enid Kukunda. And she asked me to just say something small on her behalf. Just give me a moment. Muhakanizi family, the entire Kajwenje family, distinguished guests, I learned with great shock of the passing of my brother and my genuine friend. It is one of the things that I will have to put up with, not to see Keith off while I'm still in this world. But with God, there are no mistakes. I want to thank God who gave to me the precious gift of Keith. It all began with Revered Kosia Kajwenje, who loved me so much that he instructed all his sons to always look out for me. To be precise, the Reverend had primarily charged Julius with the task of making sure that I am always fine. The truth is, Julius never did. Keith did, and became one of my biggest inspirations and confidant. Whenever I'm happy, I look out for Keith, and whenever I'm sad, I look out for Keith. And he neutralizes me in whatever form I came in. I respected, trusted, and loved Keith with all my heart. I have lost a genuine and caring friend. The reason that I came to Liantonde was because of Keith. He never disappointed me. Our genuine everything has been separated by death. I ask God kindly to help me to return the love and protection that Keith showed me to his children where I can. That God created. Keith and I had certain traits that we both valued, such as putting